Yo, what's up, everybody? Nice with you here, bringing you Danmachi. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon anime review? This is episode 7, titled The Fox Person. This was a very unique episode. We got a couple of good things going on in this one. For one, it starts as hilarious because we have Belle kneeling and Hestia is in front of him, and she's telling him you would spend the night at the pleasure quarters and you was there all night until morning. And she was really upset, and Mikata was like trying to calm her down and everybody else, but she actually tells Mikata to shut up, and Mikata was like, she's angry, so she backs off. And she's like, and you guys wasn't there all night, why do you have this? And she took out that red potion that is supposed to make you I guess you can say it's like Viagra, but in a potion, instant Viagra, I guess you can call it. But he saw that, he started blushing. He was like, wait, I didn't do nothing, I wasn't wrong. And after a while, she just, you're not lying to me, because I'm a goddess, I can tell. But I'm still angry that you went. So I'm going to give you a punishment. And the punishment basically was, he had to sweep the streets of Aurora. So it was just funny, because he's just there sweeping, and you see him in different spots just sweeping. And I'm like, wow, this is a really big city with a lot of people coming in and out, so it's like it's always gonna be dusty and dirty, and it's like you gotta do all that by yourself. Luckily, his friends and slash family members, Wolf, Lilith, and Mikasa, they came and they helped out, and it was like, you're in this because of us, so the least we can do is help you out. So they help him out, and in their conversation where they was talking about Belle, who what he was doing all night over there, he told them he was talking to somebody, but he didn't say who. Until Mikata replied, I'm over there looking for my friend, a red guard. And he was like, a red guard? And it clicked, and he was like, Haru Hime. And she's like, her eyes started to glow, and she started like, what? You met her? Really? She's there? And then we found out that it was kind of a coincidence, like, not a coincidence, but it was kind of a given that the person that she's looking for is this person. I mean, it was kind of obvious that Belle would be the one to find her. Belle's the one who always somehow finds every female, and for some odd reason, every female falls in love with him. Maybe that's his god level ability, because we know he's a demigod. Maybe that's what it is. But he tells her, yeah, for sure, she's there. She is a prostitute. Yeah, she's worked there. And then we find out her backstory from Mikasa, and we found out that she's actually nobility, and she's from a royal fox family, Kitsune family, and that family, they used to donate a lot of stuff to Takabaki, her old god, and basically he would distribute that between the kids, like meals, clothes, food, and toys and stuff like that. So, and thanks to her always doing that, the kids always at nighttime snuck out for a little bit so they can play around. So she grew pretty close to him. So she's actually very surprised and shocked that her friend Haru Hime is actually captured and as a prostitute. She's like, something must have happened. Maybe somebody tricked her into leaving her town and she got captured and sold into this. So something must have happened to her. So we don't know the full backstory yet, but they are calculating that something must have happened. Maybe her dad went bankrupt and he lost his daughter in that bankruptcy, or maybe he died and all his belongings was taken and she belongs to slavery now. I mean, it could be different stories depending on how the writer want to go with this. And this is Danmachi, so it's going to be something very sad and dramatic, because it usually is with most of these backstory characters, especially for the females. So, but it's funny because while this is going on, we have Hermes trying to get the lady who owns the bar to give a message to Freya for him. He doesn't want to do it himself, and he kind of slips up and says, "This is a very dangerous mission I'm giving you because this involves Belle, and he might be in danger." And of course, the barkeeper, she knows Belle because Belle goes there, and Syria is there, and she was like, "Belle, my Belle is in danger? Did you have something to do with this, Hermie?" And it was just the whole first 10-15 minutes of the episode, about the good 10 minutes of the first episode was nothing but laughter. And it was good though, but it was building up. But as it builds up, then we have them switching back to Belle and his friends, and Lily was straight up saying, no, don't think about saving her because we just ended the Apollo game war and we don't have enough manpower and ability to do it again for somebody else. Just calm down and let it settle by itself. And Wolf agreed with her, and Mikato was like, yeah, this is out of the league, we can't do nothing. So all three of them was against Bell's idea to help. So Bell goes to, who always goes to for a race, the elf secretary from the guild, and they talk, and he's telling her the story of how he met her and where he met her, and she was like, "You went to the pleasure quarters? I mean, you're a young man and all, but and she started blushing, and you can tell she got very, very upset because she likes Belle too. Mostly all the females in Danmachi do. So she's basically talking to him, and she gives us some really good information. We find out that the Ishtar family has a lot of very strong members, and that they're hiding their strength. Now, not all their members are recorded, and not all their accurate levels are recorded. And we also find out that that big chick who was calling herself pretty, but she was actually the only ugly Amazon there. We find out she's not just the right-hand man, right-hand woman of Ishtar, but she's also the strongest person there besides Ishtar. She's a rank 5 adventurer, just like Ainz. And I believe it was said that she was stronger than Ainz last year. Now, of course, that was last year, a whole year, and some months passed. So Ainz might be stronger now, might be, but even if she is or isn't, for Bell to catch up to that strength really quickly, I don't know how he's gonna pull that off. He's gonna have to fight like a couple of god-level bosses just to reach that status. But he finds this out, and he goes to the library and he starts looking up, more information about the gods and stuff. And he ends up meeting this one storybook about the princess, about a whore and a hero, and how the hero was abducted by the whore or the prostitute, and in revenge he killed her back. And he realized this is what heroes does. They see prostitutes as real and deceitful, and they see them more as villains. And he started thinking back about the words of what Haruhina said about, I'm a prostitute and no hero's going to want me by his side. So he started thinking to himself, damn, grandfather, what should I do? And he's contemplating this and whatever. And as this is all going on, we find out that Ishtar, basically she wants to kidnap Belle because Freya wants her, and she wants to get back at Freya because Freya and her are enemies. So she basically sent her Amazon scouts to go hunt out Belle. And as they go into dungeons waiting for Belle to come up, Belle actually meets Hermes, and Hermes gets to tell him about some information that even though you may not be able to go to war with them, but if all you want to buy is a lonely prostitute with no status and combat abilities, it should be cheap. It should be like at least a meal or two. So that's what they're working on right now. But before they get to leave to the dungeon and work on that gold, Hermes did state that supposedly he was there that night and that he dropped off a killing stone. But he didn't describe what the killing stone is or what it does. He just said that before he left. And Belle did get to ask Hestia, but she didn't even know what that is. So, but most likely this thing is called a killing stone. It's most likely a piece of rock that's meant to kill anything. Maybe it's meant specifically to kill gods. Because Ishtar hates Freya. So that is her main rival. So maybe that's what she's going to use that for. And maybe Belle is going to be the bait. That's why she's capturing him. So, and she did state too that when they capture Belle, no one's allowed to touch him. Because she wants to touch him first, and then all the other females can take their turn with them. That's how Amazons mate. So, and in the end, we see all the Amazons in the dungeon, and we see this one chick. She doesn't look like an Amazon, but she has like a red veil on covering her, and she casts a spell on the dark-skinned chick that Belle bumped into last time. I believe her name was Asia, or Asia, something like that. And basically, she got a power-up. And as Belle's team fighting, she snuck up behind him and she pulled Belle back into like an alley, and they started fighting. And the episode ended in that cliffhanger of her sweeping her big sword down on Belle. So most likely, if she did connect, he's knocked out. I doubt if he's dead because the mission was to capture him. So she most likely knocked him out and is gonna drag him back. But this is not looking too good because Belle wants to save her, but at the same time, it's like they want Belle. So it's like, I mean, maybe Belle can make an exchange. Give himself up for them to give her up to the family, and then later on he can like somehow free himself, or maybe Freya can step in and maybe help out, because we know Freya really she's like head over heels as well for Belle. But I don't think she likes Belle as a love interest like everybody else. I think it's more like fractionated between his history and how he looks. Maybe Belle reminds her of somebody, an ex-lover, maybe a son that died. Who knows? A brother. We don't really know. It was never clear that she actually liked Belle like that way, like everyone else. So we don't really know yet. But this was a very good episode. Can't wait to see what else is gonna happen next week. I wonder if Belle lost or not. But now that I look through my notes, yeah, that's pretty much everything. But let me know how you feel about the episode and what you like and didn't like. But that's all I have for you. Peace and have a good one.